Alright, hello guys, how's it going? And today we're going to be talking about an upcoming bomb cyclone. Actually, this cyclone has already started up for the deep south and it's going to be making its way off the east coast. We're going to talk all about that in this very exciting video. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. Now, for today's comment of the day, since the baseball season has been kind of postponed, I want to know, what is your favorite baseball team? And I'll be picking the first person to comment my favorite as well for tomorrow's video. Let's get right into things. We're going to get right into simulated radar. You might be wondering, what's the definition of a bomb cyclone? What does that even mean? Well, the official description of a bomb cyclone is a low pressure system that drops more than 24 millibars within 24 hours, and this one looks to do that. Is located over Louisiana, or was last night, and we had some thunderstorms in the area for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. This one's going to bring severe weather, flooding rains, even a lot of wind for the southeast coast and the mid-Atlantic coast. So this one's going to be action-packed, a very impactful springtime storm. It's actually a lot like a nor'easter that doesn't really make its way all the way up the coast. So it's going to impact the southeast coast the most. We call these a southern slider or a nor'easter type of storm here. And that's what we're going to be dealing with this one. Let's go ahead and move on a frame. And this one's going to be a lot closer to where I'm actually making this video. You can see Mississippi as being the most impacted by that point, as the low pressure system is located over Mississippi, but we're still seeing thunderstorms for Louisiana, throughout Mississippi, and then heavy rain up there for Tennessee, Kentucky, portions of Alabama, as well as Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas there as well. Now, we're about to move on. We're going to move a little bit further and closer to this afternoon, and the storm is actually going to intensify and move further and further eastward. Now, this frame is going to be a lot closer to about 10 a.m., and we can see that the low pressure system is right there by the borders of Mississippi and Alabama. Still, thunderstorms going on for southern Louisiana and through portions of southern Mississippi, and then all along the western regions of Alabama as well. Again, still very heavy rainfall, going on for Tennessee, Kentucky, regions throughout Alabama, and a little bit of northwestern Georgia there as well. Let's move on once more, and this one's going to be a lot closer to the afternoon time. This one's probably going to be about 1 p.m. Today, which is Tuesday, March 31st, and you can see that we do have thunderstorms going on for the panhandle of Florida, a lot of regions in Alabama, Georgia, and then still maybe even Louisiana there, very, very far southern Louisiana, but we're still dealing with that moderate to heavy rainfall going on for Tennessee, Kentucky, Louisiana, West Virginia, and portions of North Carolina. You can probably tell by now that it's going to be thunderstorms deeper south, and then it's going to be just heavier rainfall going on as you head further north to the north of the low pressure system, but both will be very, very impactful. And we haven't even seen the most impacts from this major bomb cyclone yet. We're going to move on towards that in just a second, where we're going to start to see heavy winds get involved, heavy flooding rain. We're going to take a look at all of that stuff in just a moment. Alright, and at this frame, we're a little bit further into the evening, maybe about 5 p.m. today on Tuesday, March 31st, and you can see thunderstorms are still occurring for Florida there, Georgia, even up through South Carolina, but it's as you head towards Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and Kentucky, it's just going to be in the form of moderate to heavy, steady rainfall, and that's where we're expecting the most rainfall to actually occur, is in those more steady areas where it's just going to continue to rain. Also notice the blue going on for West Virginia and Western Virginia there. That's where we're going to be dealing with some snowfall. We're actually expecting pretty good accumulating snowfall for the mountains there in the Appalachian Mountains. So I'm going to be bringing you guys a total snowfall map at the end of this video as well, the total rainfall map at the end of this video, and that's going to be very important to take a look at because we are expecting flooding and also accumulating snowfall with this storm. Now let's go ahead and look at that Cape, because we are going to be dealing with some severe weather today for Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, maybe even Mississippi as well. And our Cape is going to be well above 1,000 in those magenta colors. So I just wanted to show that our convective available potential energy is going to be high enough for severe weather throughout the day today. And we could get some severe weather reports for especially Georgia and Florida, I believe. Tornadoes also possible, I must mention. Now, as we head towards, I would say this is about 9 p.m. tonight, we see that there is thunderstorms going on for South Carolina and North Carolina mostly, especially southern and eastern North Carolina there. Georgia and Florida may be dealing with some isolated thunderstorms, I would say. Also noticed a lot of blue there for Western Virginia and West Virginia by this point. The cold is really going to move in. Remember, for the past week or so, I've been talking about an upcoming cool down. This is actually going to bring in the cool down. The cool down is going to come right behind this low pressure system, and we're going to start feeling it actually tonight into tomorrow. So this is all going to play out just the way I've been forecasting for about a week now. But really dealing with some heavier rain and even heavier snow there for Virginia, North Carolina, and especially regions of North Carolina there as well. Now we're about to move on. We're going to take a look at the later in the night a little bit towards about 12 a.m. here as the thunderstorms start to move further and further north, and we start to see more and more snow as well. Now, again, as I've been saying throughout this video, we are expecting more thunderstorms to the south and more steady rain to the north, but on the very northern end of the low pressure system, just to the north of it, we do see those thunderstorms embedded in the main steady rainfall areas, and that's where I'm expecting the most rainfall to occur. I'm expecting maybe southern Virginia, northern North Carolina to maybe get the most rainfall throughout this entire storm. Also, the Outer Banks getting slammed with rainfall there. We see lots of reds, so it's going to be stormy there, especially for eastern North Carolina throughout the night tonight. Again, this is about 12 a.m. There is still thunderstorms going on for Florida, but Georgia and South Carolina has really cleared up by this point. It's mostly for Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, and even a bit of Maryland and Delaware they're getting involved as well. Now, again, that was by 12 a.m. We're looking at our wind now by this point as well, and take a look. In the greens, we're looking at about 20 to 30 knot winds. In the yellows, we're looking at about 30 to 40 knot winds, and in the reds, we're looking at 40 to 50 knot winds, which is very, very windy. We're going to be expecting most of those heavier winds to occur for North Carolina there and portions of southern Virginia. Let's take a look at about 2 a.m. here tonight. And as you can see, our low pressure system is just offshore of the Outer Banks, and it's 985 millibar low pressure system by this point. Hasn't even been 24 hours since it was a 1000 millibar low pressure system, and we're already dropping in a lot of pressure here. We can see that heavier rain is still going on for Virginia and North Carolina. Let's move on again and look at the wind. And this is going to be by about 4 a.m. And we can see a lot of those reds and oranges moving on to southern Virginia, even the eastern shore there, and then a lot of eastern North Carolina as well. We have a 982 millibar low pressure system by this point. And then our radar by about, I would say 8 a.m. on Wednesday is looking a lot more clear. So as we head towards the morning time, it's basically going to be said and done, except for a few snow showers out there for the mountains, and then eastern North Carolina maybe dealing with some rain showers. But notice the cold has really moved in. And then here's your wind by time we're at about 8 a.m. You can see most of it is offshore, but we're dealing with reds and even purples, which is 50 to 60 knot winds. Very, very strong winds with this bomb cyclone. And you can see 974 millibar low pressure system. So it's definitely dropped more than 24 millibars in 24 hours. Now we're about to move on, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of those temperatures that this is going to bring behind it. And then we're also going to look at the total snowfall, total rainfall, and then we'll get into our comment of the day. Now, first things first, here's at about 2 p.m. on Wednesday. This is maybe the high temperature. Look, 40s and 50s there for a lot of the southeast, northern Alabama, northern Georgia. Huge cool down from what we've been experiencing. And then even mid-Atlantic states like North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, even coastal states dealing with lower 50s and upper 40s as high temperatures. It's going to be very cool compared to what we've been dealing with for a few days here. Here's the low temperatures that night. This is maybe at about 6 a.m. on Thursday morning, so this is about the coldest it's going to get, and we can see upper 30s, lower 40s here for a lot of the mid-Atlantic and some of the southeast as well. Northern Georgia, lower or upper 30s, so definitely a huge cool down compared to what we've been dealing with for about, I mean, maybe even, half a month, maybe 2 weeks or so. Here's that total snowfall map. Notice mostly for the Smoky Mountains and Appalachians. And we can see that a lot of the pinks are embedded in there for the higher elevation. That's where we're looking at 6 to 12 inches of snow. So a lot of the higher elevation areas are going to get a good amount of snow here, actually, from this event, which is very, very interesting. A good late season snowfall for a lot of the mountains out there. Here's your total rainfall on this model. We can see anywhere in the greens, that's where you're dealing with any amount of rain to about half an inch. The blue is half an inch to 2 inches of rain, and there is some pinks in there in some areas, especially for North Carolina and South Carolina. That's where we're at 2 inches plus, especially for the Outer Banks there. So a huge amount of rain there is expected for a lot of these areas. And then as we look at the lower resolution NAM model as well, this is the 12km NAM model, you can see a lot of those pinks arrive for eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, like I was pointing out. Again, 2 to 4 inches of rain potentially for those areas according to this model. Very, very interesting stuff here. Now for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what is your favorite month weather-wise? And Dolphin87 said, favorite month is October. I just love the cooler weather and all of those bright autumn colors so much. And it reminds me of the time I went to the White Mountains in New Hampshire during October, and it was just so beautiful. It's something you got to see at least once in your life. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. And I will see you guys in the next video.